Ladies and gentlemen, what is good? What's going on? It is your guy. It is AJ here, episode 69 of Midcarders and Catering Podcast. We back. We back. Well, not we, but it is a we in here, you know what I'm saying? But before we get to that, you know what I'm saying? I want to say that this is a kind of a new era. This is a new beginning, a new day here at Midcarders and Catering Podcast. It's almost like a shifting of an era, so to speak. And when you have those shifts, when you have those changes, you know what I'm saying, you look to your friends, you look deep and down inside, you look into your heart, you reach out to your buddies, you reach out to the clique. Too sweet me, baby. Too sweet me. What's good?
Too sweet. I just want to say, yes, Youngin, you are X-Pac, by the way.
You are X-Pac, Trey. Shouts out to Trey. Shouts out to Youngin. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Right. Free pops out right now. But yeah, man, it is a union celebration here at Midcarders and Catering Podcast. Like, so tonight we got DJ Larry is in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got El Nelson, the Puerto Rican Rob Van Dam is in the building. And for the first time on Pubs, we got my guy, Earl Got Soul, Guesser from the Stands podcast. Another member of the union. What's good, Earl? What's good, man? Welcome, bro. Welcome to.
Now, listen. First of all, thank you so much for having me on. You know what I'm saying? Our schedules have matched up. Last time I was supposed to be on here, I had to go see the Queen, man. Beyonce came in town. I had to take the black to go see Beyonce. So I appreciate you understanding that. But listen, it's time to talk graps. It's time to talk, cool guys in the ring, because, we got cool champions in wrestling.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to talk about that today. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you getting your smile. And worst come to worst, you knew to call your friends. Your friends are here. So let's get to it. Let's have fun. Obviously, throw the U's up on everything. Shout out to Guests from the Stands. Shout out to all my co-hosts over at Guests from the Stands. And shout out to my union brethren, man. When you see us, you see them. So, you know what I'm saying? Just know that it's all represented around.
Yes, this union thing is like special, bro. Like you first, to understand this whole union thing, bro, we got to kind of like take it back really like a year. Really a year and some change, like about a year and a half, you know what I'm saying? When this podcast started to take shape, when this podcast started to take off, you know what I'm saying? It kind of brought us all together in this shared space of like common interests, of commonality, and like just all around just brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? So to speak. Like I already knew Earl, you know what I'm saying, like through Twitter and everything before all this podcast shit started taking off. But in between all of that is where I was able to connect with these brothers over here with Larry and with Nelson, you know what I'm saying? Through, honestly, a lot of this is owed to AMP, you know what I'm saying? To RAOP, really. Like shout out to my brother AMP, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that, because he's the one that really kind of connected all these webs together with us, you know what I'm saying? In terms of where we are today. And shouts out to Winston more than anybody, because literally the term union came from Winston. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows that shit, man, because literally union talk, big U's, all that stuff came from Winston. Shout out to my man King Murphy Media, and just fast forwarding to like where we are today, you know what I'm saying? And we're still like growing. You know what I'm saying? We still in this growth phase of everything and creativity and this shared space. It's just really, really good to be in this place now. And, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say that I appreciate all of you for being along with me on this journey. And as we go forth into this next period of whatever the hell Midcarders and Catering is going to become. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but what the hell show your work is going to become, and what guessing from the stands is going to become, and everybody else that's affiliated with us in that shared space. So shouts out to all of you. Thank you very much.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was only right that I brought you guys on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have other announcements too, which we'll get to like way later in the thing, because we just got so much wrestling things to talk about. And not only that, this is Earl's first time on here on Pubs. So Earl has never been asked the goddamn question. And in case you forgot what the question is, he's got to get asked a question. And Earl, are you with me?
I'm with you.
You with me? So Earl, in this special thing that we love called pro wrestling,
yes sir,
who was the first pro wrestler to become that larger than life figure in your life and made you a fan of this glorious sport that we all love to talk about and watch?
Okay. Not to have a complex answer, but it's two.
Okay, so no, there's nothing wrong with it.
I started watching wrestling, if I remember, I'm going to say around first grade. So it was about 96, 97, somewhere in that area. And Sean was the guy, but the character of The Undertaker was just, I know for a lot of people it's cliche, but you got to understand that it's the 90s, bro. Like, we grew up in it. The Undertaker, and then, again, my personal GOAT, Triple H. That was who got me in. Anybody that knows me, especially in our union space, I'm a Triple H mark.
He's an H-man.
Yes, I'm an
H-man.
This phenomenon that everybody has had with Triple H. I personally have been a Triple H guy from day one. I have a strong case. I'm going to make one day on this pod why he's probably the most important figure in wrestling since Ric Flair, but we'll do that another time. And maybe even, probably the most important since Shawn Michaels. I say not as much Ric Flair, but definitely him. But I mean, just for me, The Undertaker and Triple H, the euphoria I had in 2001 when they had that match, because I literally did not know who to root for in the WrestleMania 17 matchup. But for myself, man, the character of The Undertaker and Triple H are neck and neck of what got me into wrestling. That's just it. One was a good guy, one was a bad guy.
Yeah, and then sometimes they kind of switch too, you know what I'm saying? Like they was, you know what I'm saying? We got to the Ministry of Darkness Taker, then you kind of got that, I wouldn't call it a complete baby face turn with Hunter like in what was it, like 01, 02? Like that's like a tweener.
When he came back in 02.
Yeah, when he came back in 02, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like tweener baby face that edged on baby face type deals and everything like that. So it was very easy to be a fan of, you know what I'm saying, of both of them. Like they're both pioneers, and then just looking at where they are today, like literally just watching the career of Triple H has just been a beautiful thing to experience, because he is literally running the company now. Like it's insane. Like he's in charge of creative, he's doing all this, and he's literally got WWE on top of the game right now. So it's a very, very amazing thing. It's great to be an OG H-man. Like it
is. Yeah. And for myself, you know, like not to be long-winded on this, but just for me, I feel like he did every job that was necessary in the company. If I got to be a baby face, I'll do it. Nobody else can step up and be the consistent heel. I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll do it. I'll put this title over. I mean, at one point, you can make a strong case that he made the world heavyweight title the most important title in the business for about a good 4 or 5 year run, because he had it on the number one show. And I mean, just what he did to put over talent, you know, without him, we don't get Randy Orton, who's got a case for whatever, you know what I'm saying?
One of the greatest ever.
John Cena, same thing. Like when the company wasn't necessarily in the greatest of places, the man did, between him and The Undertaker, they did whatever they had to do to keep the ball rolling. And I mean, I'm always going to be a mark for Triple H. So it ain't much anybody can tell me about him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that is the wonderful history, the wonderful story of Earl and his wrestling journey. And Earl Earl is not. He's true to this. He's not new to this. Like, this is a guy who's been to multiple WrestleManias. He's been to Royal Rumble on the fly. He's done it all. You know what I'm saying? So Earl is very much a part of this special thing that we call pro wrestling and the pro wrestling space. So
yes, sir.
I'm glad we finally got that out, because for the most part, when Earl has been around for a lot of the content, it was Patreon stuff. So we was like doing the watch alongs or doing you know, the WrestleMania watch we did and everything like that. So
well, we put in work that weekend, let me tell you.
Brother.
That was a weekend.
We put in work that weekend.
I got a question for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have y'all ever seen the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
Okay.
Yo, you know what's, bro? Winston, yo, shout out to Winston, bro, because I put that damn Dodge Charger stretch limousine that I saw on the beach the other day, and then he replied with the gif of the Oscar Mayer Wiener car. Like, oh my god,
Winston, I love you, dog.
Yeah, boy, Winston is a special person, bro. He's a very special person, and he's very important to this podcast, like,
bro.
The fact that and look, y'all gonna have to like really get Patreon for this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
Just to go back to watching night 2 of WrestleMania, and just that whole the Slim Jim Classic match. It wasn't. We didn't even really watch the damn match, bro. We was too busy laughing at Winston.
Belly to belly suplex from the top rope for us to be like, all right, it's wrestling going on, bro. We was in that shit 5 minutes straight, just
bro. If he said that during night 1 when he and I were in the same room, bro, I would have fell off the chair, bro.
That would have made a classic clip.
It's a reason why there are times where me and Nelson are just on the floor.
Bro, we cut the camera, bro. I can't just.
There are times where like you can't see me, but you'll see my hand like this because I'm just reaching to get back up.
Yeah,
crying, laughing so hard.
Yeah, I'm hiding my face because I don't know what to do or say. Like, I'm just like, all right, man.
And it's just done so naturally. That's the thing about it. It's not even like he prepared for that shit. He just like came out with it, and he was just like, "Hey, yo, I got a question." And it was just like, "Yeah." Hey, yo, y'all like ever seen like the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile just like, you know, on the road? I'm like, huh? On the road?
Hey, can I break the fourth wall real quick? Just for this? If you hear any of us in the union say, hey, yo, I got a question, something funny is about to come up. I'm not going to dive into what else, but
or is this a safe space? It's going to be a very ridiculous.
Or is this a safe space?
All right, If AJ, if you will allow me, I actually have a clip of something I just found recently, like the other day, right? That is so egregious. It is literally the definition of like what we get into. And again, big shout out to Winston, King Murphy Media. He's got a lot in the works. So whatever please follow him. Yeah, he's a different breed for sure. But bro,
hardworking man. But when it comes to just talking, bro, oh my god,
it's a lot. Bro. It's only one Winston, bro.
It's only one, bro. Like
it's only one.
It's only one Winston, bro. Like he's one of a kind for sure. And literally, we just dropped a new Patreon watch along today with Winston. So shout out to that. You know, the Streets is watching watch along. You know, salute to Pat Pryor, Tokyo Ass Sound as well. So yeah, but this is just a quick 20 seconds of like what you got with Winston. Bro,
ridiculousness,
right here. Nelson. Let's see if you remember this. Let's get to the elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Wow.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. I see exactly what you did there.
You son of a bitch.
I see exactly what you did there.
Big Mama Pump.
Yeah.
That is insane. Oh my god.
Bro. Why did it look like it was 1994 and he just unwrapped a Super Nintendo from his
dog? Just like the way he started doing this,
cracking his knuckles. That's when you know some bullshit was on the way.
On the way. On the way, yes.
Oh my God.
Oh,
But shout out to
Oh,
Winston.
man.
Shout out to
to Winston, man. Oh,
But
God.
we're here because we have to talk about some wrestling and everything. First of all, how is everybody doing? Like, I just just gauging like how's everybody's week. It's been a while since I've been behind the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of took a break in between 68 and now and everything like that. But of course, guessing from the stands is still y'all just had an episode the night prior to this recording. Hate to break the fourth wall, but y'all just put that out. Again, we just talked about the extra content to show your work is just dropped and everything. But just overall, like, how are y'all doing?
I'll go first. I'm resting because the grind starts on July 1st because we have to cover every college football Power 4 division. That's nasty. Power 4 division. Damn. Along with every division in the NFL. So July and August are going to be very much a grind over the next 8 weeks. So just getting some rest in now, man. But overall, life is good, bro. Life is good.
Yeah. Nelson's actually like not on location. Well, he's on location somewhere, but he's not as usual. Yeah, he's an undisclosed.
I can say where I'm at. I don't give a shit. But I'm visiting family back, where I'm from. You usually see the bookcase behind me, but I'm in an undisclosed Brooklyn location. I'm in New York right now, but I still made it. You know what I mean? The grind don't stop. The mic is still here, So we made it work and made it happen. But I'm good. Just came to visit family, got some family stuff to to take care of. So made the trip up, just cooling, just chilling out pretty much. It's just is weird. Every time I come back to New York, it's just always funny because I feel like I hear people complain more about New York, and I'm like, I made the right decision. Because bruh,
it be like that sometimes, man.
Yeah, like coming back is cool, but then I remember why I miss certain things about New York, but I don't miss it enough that I'm like, yo, I need to move back.
I gotta be back.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to come back. See some people I haven't seen. See my family, who I've seen. I'm gonna see later this week again. See friends. The usual people. So this is cool to be back here. But otherwise, I'm good, bro. Just hanging in there. Still putting this content out because, like I said, the grind don't stop. Yep. But I'm happy to be here though. That's the most important part. It feels good to be back on Midcarders Catering.
Oh yeah, man. It's always welcome.
Some wrestling.
Yeah, talk about wrestling with Nelson. Sir. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention Luchador Mount Rushmore has been popping. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all been putting that work in. With the Luchador Mount Rushmore, like it's really, really great stuff that y'all putting together with that, and I love it. I love it, man.
I love how Nelson became a Naito guy. Like
I'm a Naito fan. Yeah. I like this guy. I like this guy. I like how you
No. Also, Nelson finding out about non-US themes for like La Sombra using Nelly's "I Am Number One" as his theme. Yeah, it was
that was hilarious.
The second verse though, not the first verse. The second verse.
Second verse, bro.
And then he came out dressed like Tizo Touchdown to verse.
So he comes out. So he comes out. He comes out to the verse where Nelly is dissing KRS-One.
He's kicking his back.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
Keep in mind, like Shinsuke's walking to the ring and he's got like this just flowing, just like prime Shinsuke fit on, right? Where it's like, okay, this guy is the Prince of Wrestling, right? Legit, right? Then Andrade comes out and it's like, word, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like,
watch this.
And not to mention, brolic as hell. Like brolic as hell. That mask like small on him, and he's just like this. Like shit's hilarious. So
you got the NFT when that took place, right?
Oh, this is way.
Yeah, that's way before NXT.
Before WWE. Yeah, so
watching that
maybe about 2 years, maybe about 2 years before NXT.
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Really? It was like I thought it was at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, he had he had his mask for like.
Because I think y'all only mentioned the year one time when y'all were watching this. So
I think that was okay. So Andrade got the NXT like Andrade got the NXT like 2015, 2016. That match was like 2012, 2013 because they had a series of matches. So yeah, that was that. So I'm not sure
because Hunter, like when he pulled up to NXT, Hunter legit was like, "Man, you're handsome. Take that damn mask off. You are handsome." Like he was like, "Look at this guy." You know what I'm saying? You can go look back at that shit too. It's pretty funny when you look back at that around that NXT period when Andrade first pulled up.
All right, here's the date right here. The match was May 31st, 2012.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah. So let that sink in.
Yeah.
It's
been a minute.
He was big.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So
he was big.
Andrade signs his developmental deal with NXT in November 2015. His first in-ring debut was at a house show in 2016, and he didn't get an NXT true debut until NXT The End, which was June 8th, 2016 against Ty Dillinger, who is Sean Spears. So, yep. Basically 4 years before he got to NXT.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was fun to watch. But yeah, we got a whole note of rivalries and matches. Like we went to Super Crazy versus.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give away too much. Don't give away too much.
I'm not, because y'all know, but I'm just saying, like, we're not gonna do. Obviously, we're gonna get to the known people eventually, but like when we do get to them, we're gonna do more. We're not gonna do the obvious ones. Like we want to do stuff that either people glossed over, some people just don't talk about too much. We're gonna go across continents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like y'all know certain people from when they were here, but we want to go back to the essence.
Right.
We're definitely gonna go to. We're definitely have. We got a bunch of stuff in the tuck for sure. But
absolutely,
that's why when we came back, we made sure to do more. I don't want to say overlook stuff, but stuff that people mentioned, but either didn't really watch or just really should put an eye on. Like that's why I pitched Super Crazy versus Tajiri. I was like, we have that is my favorite. Like everybody talks about RVD and Jerry Lynn and Sable. I'm like, no, I watch Super Crazy and Tajiri and Masahiro Tanaka and Mike Awesome. Masato Tanaka, excuse me. I almost called him Masahiro. I like the picture. And Mike Awesome versus Mike Awesome, and then I'll go to like RVD and Jerry Lynn and RVD and Sabu and Raven and all them. But definitely, it was definitely fun, even with that, because like seeing Tajiri and Dam looking like a young schoolboy, and then this motherfucker got baggy pants and missed.
Yeah, crazy time.
Where he went from Philly back to Japan and came back to Philly with baggy pants and missed.
He came with the Great Muda package, like legit,
essentially,
like straight up.
Yeah, he bought the Great Muda DLC, and nothing was the same ever since. But we do got a lot of ideas. In the tuck. I mean, y'all enjoy some. Y'all be like, oh shit, I forgot about this, and that's what we're here to do with this. So
the knowledge,
we'll have some guests too. Yeah,
education,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, not no snarky shit. Just watch it, and this is what happened. So, but shout out to Naito. That's my guy.
Yes. Los on Cobra and Cobra is number one.
Gobernables, man.
Gobernables is number one.
Los. I gotta find that clip. But yo, also that is the funniest intro to a Patreon episode I've ever done with Naito and the reporter. That shit was hilarious.
Like, the Andrade theme is kid. Now every time I see Andrade, I'm like, bro, Triple H got to pay Nelly the bag, bro.
Yeah,
bro. One time, and I need Nelly with the one pan leg up.
The one pan leg up and the band-aid over the under the
left
eye.
It's the second verse that killed me, bro. Like,
what you're telling me is,
do you like it? I'm like, what the?
You want WWE to double down on St. Louis is what you're telling me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what.
All right.
That's what
Yes.
Shit.
Nice
Complete
segue.
the trifecta.
Nice segue.
They gonna complete the
Very
trifecta.
nice.
Jason Tatum win that title. They're gonna give him a title. You might as well do all three.
Hey, you doing the knowledge.
Get the Four Horsemen, get Metro Boomin. Then you got the St. Louis Click.
All right.
All right. That's crazy. Larry.
Hey, ready?
Hey, WWE, if you need marketing, holla at me.
Right.
I'll touch all the demographics.
I have nothing to say. I've just been watching my team, and this is the only This is the only reaction I have to watching my team right now.
Relationship with your my God.
That's all. That's all I can say right now. Or a better one.
Look at these bums.
That's about it.
It's all.
It ain't over until it's over. Is all I'll say. And this should be a great episode of Show Your Work this week when it drops. And yeah.
And
cool.
Hey, you got far. You
did.
Yeah, you got far.
Like, it was me and you, Larry. It was me and you, man. I'm sorry.
You got far.
Yeah, man.
We died.
But hey,
both teams played hard.
Both teams played
hard. Great sports ball.
My team, I feel great though that my team died and like I have not cared. I'm like,
But you know what I have been enjoying?
July 1st.
You know what I have been enjoying? I'm enjoying watching my new team that I'm fake claiming this year, the Los Angeles Dodgers, because you know.
Okay.
That is nasty.
That's nasty. That's very nasty. That's very nasty, by the way.
Hey, guess what? Hey, brother, I don't care. All right, don't care.
That's crazy.
Trying to take my team. That's crazy. But hey, you know what?
Look, bro. Hey,
the night I got Shohei, man. I told y'all, hey, I was right
there with you.
I know
there with you.
that fateful week right before Christmas.
Yeah,
Classic night.
Classic night. And if you want to experience classic nights, I'm telling you, join that Discord. Join that Discord,
man.
Join that Discord, man.
Hey, man, shout out to Nina Williams. That's all I'll say.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Nina Williams.
But while we're here, you know what I'm saying, we do have quite a bit of things to cover. We got some news to talk about, you know what I'm saying, a few things to get into this news cycle real quick before we tap into, because this is kind of like a prediction show for Clash at the Castle, you know what I'm saying? But we also just came off of NXT Battleground 2, you know what I'm saying? So we can talk about that for a minute. But first, we got to get into a lot of this news stuff. So let's get to it. Midcarders and Catering Patreon is live and direct with exclusive access to the Union Discord and loads of extra content like Radio MIC, Luchador Mount Rushmore, and Icon. Beginning only at $3. Subscribe today.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I knew it. I love when he does that.
So, I think, well, probably one of the bigger things we can kind of talk about, well, you know, this person's not really big, but, you know, this it's kind of, it kind of feels workish a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. But Ricochet.
Rest in peace.
Man.
Or Rick in peace.
I haven't figured out if this is a work yet or not. Because I'm halfway there, and I don't do the tinfoil thing, but
I don't either.
There's something about this that's like, you know?
Yeah, it's just kind of okay. So, first it was reported, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was reported maybe like last Friday-ish, I think. Yeah, last Friday. That's crazy that you just did that because we didn't even get to the write-off, but that is insane. That was funny. That was some funny shit, but we will get to that. So it was no, it's not your bad. That was actually a good pull. But so it was said that Ricochet is coming towards the end of his contract and he's planning on letting that contract expire. He's not trying to renew it. I'm sure there's a glowing frustration there or something like that about what he may want in terms of like his creative direction and everything like that. He had no additional day scheduled with the company. This was all from Pro Wrestling Insider, you know what I'm saying? And then we started getting a lot more information in between all of that, stating that this past week's Monday Night Raw was pretty much going to be the write-off for him. And as you saw before with Larry, he posted that nice photo of Ricochet going through real glass.
Let's go through order. So this was June 8th.
Okay.
PW Insiders confirmed that WWE's Ricochet has given notice. He intends to exit the company when his current contract expires. 2 days later, we get the current plans for Ricochet to make his final appearance tonight on Raw. He has no additional dates scheduled with the company. So we get to Monday Night Raw. Ricochet comes out. He has a fierce, battle with Braun Breaker. And then we're like, okay. He might not be getting written off. And AJ tweeted like 10 minutes later, never mind.
Never mind.
They went
hold on. Wait. Before we even get there, right? He has this moment, right? He has this moment like he's over like, hold on, because I got you real quick. I got you. Like, let me because this is by far the funniest part of it all. Is this shit right here. Kind of has a moment, you know what I'm saying? Kind of have a moment there. The only kicker to this is that this is Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo.
Okay. So
Toledo, Ohio.
so having your write-off in Toledo, Ohio is insane.
Now,
but
I will say maybe he was practicing for if he signs to AEW, that's the only site he's gonna look at.
Also crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because that was also a funny ass, it was some really, the jokes was flying, bro. Like we saw that.
Top 5 memes I've seen this year.
Yeah, like this happening in Toledo, like this right here was pretty sick.
Pittsburgh might have been funnier, but
let me see if you're gonna pull this one up. You see this the one.
This right here was insane. Like the fucking shipping him off to AEW in the ambulance was crazy.
I mean, it's been a couple I've seen that have been crazy. I mean,
I seen the one with the Rampage logo too. That was
he is all bald, bro. I was ears, right?
I had to get that one.
I mean, it was perfect.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah. Of course, right? Of course, you did. Duh. All right. First of all, when I saw that, all that came to mind was, hey, all bald, bro,
all bald.
I'm sorry, man. Look, I had to get some jokes off. I had.
It's funny.
I'm sorry, Ricochet. Please don't hate me. Don't hate me. Don't.
Ricochet, we respect you.
We respect you.
Can I ask a question?
Don't cut off my interviews if I ever ask for one. Like, please don't. But
why? That's the question I have. Is why? And when I say why leave? Why? Why choose the ghetto if that's where he's gonna go? Like, why?
Well, the thing is, it's like he hasn't really. There is no direct connection that he's made. Like, oh, I'm going to AEW. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure, I believe he has a non-compete. You know what I'm saying? Even like after that. So usually with most people, well, the thing is, I don't know, because this is not really a release. He's letting a contract expire, so he may not actually have a non-compete.
So if you let your contract expire, you can go somewhere immediately. That's where you've seen. So for reference sake, that's what happened with Adam Cole. That's what happened with Bryan Danielson. That's what happened with Edge. Adam Cole, where they all left, they didn't get fired. They just, if you get released, then you have like a 60, 90
You probably
day
have like a 60, 90 day. Yeah.
So,
usually 90 days.
Yeah. So his contract is set to expire in the middle of July or in July. So the plan was to, do what they just did. So, but while I'm talking, I'll go ahead and say it. I don't think that he views that the other company as the ghetto, because the thing with Ricochet is he has been a champion, but he has yet to, in his mind, hit his true ceiling. Right.
Okay.
The problem with that though is
he's 5'8".
Not even that he's 5'8", not even that he's bald, not even that he can't talk. He can't talk.
That too. Yeah,
he just can't. He can't talk. And most importantly, it's one thing when. All right, I'll put it like this. Like, Earl, like when they certain jobs to do them diversity hires, they be like, oh yeah, like let's get this one guy here, and we're gonna make this happen. But then when they get about 4 more of you, it's like, oh, we don't need him anymore. He be bullshitting. He come in late.
It's when the token becomes a part of the population. Now all of a sudden, you don't have any value.
Like, no, and it's not even because he's black or nothing like that. It's legitimately he was one of the main quote unquote guys that had that indie style to them, where they did like mad flips and things like that.
Right.
Then the 2020, 2021, and 2022 NXT classes came in, and it's like, oh, we don't need this guy anymore.
We're not special.
Like, we don't need Ricochet if we got Carmelo Hayes.
Now, look, I'm gonna tell you something that's very telling when it comes to Ricochet. Is when it comes to that, when it comes to even the NXT part, okay? Because this is the thing about Ricochet. Ricochet is cool. He's a cool wrestler. He's a hell of a great worker. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of Ricochet stuff pre WWE when he was King Ricochet. In New Japan and everything like that. He was putting on crazy bangers. Of course, we all know the one with Will Ospreay that's always plugged online and everything with all the choreography and everything.
Yep.
The thing about Ricochet is that, yes, he is just a guy. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to these other guys, like when you look at Ricochet, even during his NXT tenure, like was Ricochet ever NXT champion? No,
North American champion.
He was North American champion. So he was a mid-carder in NXT. And then it's not like he was given, an opportunity to actually hold that NXT championship because, again, they looked at him like maybe you're not that guy to hold that. So it was only very telling that that's what he was going to be on main roster too, and that is a mid-card guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and it's just, I think in the grand scheme of things, see, he was missing a moment. And when I say missing that moment, I'm talking about like when we look at LA Knight, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like LA Knight was just when LA Knight when he first shifted back from that terrible gimmick that he was given by Nasty Creative Man, Max Dupree, when he actually came out as LA Knight, it was crickets and everything like that. But he worked to shift that crowd over to him by showing a lot of charisma. It's literally charisma is the thing that Ricochet is missing. No matter what he tries, no matter how many times he tries to force it out, it's just you're just that guy that does backwards flips.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much charisma when it comes to like.
Yeah, it's not there. It's just not like. Yeah, you're a great wrestler. You know what I'm saying? You're a great worker, but homeboy is not going to get us on your side in 2024. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's
look. Even if you don't have the skills in the ring, talking take you a long way in this game. If anything, it's carried on and made a career for a lot of guys who just really can't do it in the ring.
I mean, but even the guys that can do it in the ring, to respectfully interject, there's a difference between Santos Escobar and Montez Ford than there is for Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Just being honest. I mean, like if I'm looking at the Raw roster right now, just strictly the Raw roster, right? It's already crowded. And then you add in the fact that, all right, you got it, Braun Strowman and Braun Breaker are back, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Bronson Reed for as big as he is to still have his personality that gets over, right? Chad Gable is doing some of the greatest character work we've seen, right? So then you got Dom Mysterio, you got Dragunov, Jey Uso is the hottest thing since fish grease. I mean, there were guys that didn't even have character, like a JD McDonough, that had to learn to do comedy bits to get themselves over.
Something. Yes. But look what you said. You had to do something.
Yeah.
Even
something.
Again, the moment.
Even Jey Uso to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, because Jey Uso wasn't known as talkers like that.
Not initially, no.
So really, the penitentiary and then obviously like the feud with the New Day really, incited that.
It took the bloodline feud,
but it took the bloodline feuds for them to learn how to, for him and his brother to learn how to be talkers on their own. I just think, real quick, just to finish this up too, I just think, I might sound crazy saying this, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Everybody wants to be Rey Mysterio, but everybody cannot be Rey Mysterio.
Come on.
Okay?
Yeah. Come on.
Yep. Okay?
Yep.
There's only one Allen Iverson.
There's
only one. Like, I just feel like it doesn't get, like, I don't know. I feel like he tries, like, I think sometimes, like, he goes into that, and it's like, nah, but there's, like, you got to do more. Like, he's not the best talker. And you know what? Maybe he just don't like his role at the moment, which is fine. Because to me, I thought after the Logan Paul thing, I was like, okay, I think he's gonna be the 5A, the not the monster in the mid card, but the guy in the mid card is if you need 10 to 15 minutes to make somebody look good and to
he's
give himself, he's the guy to do it. I thought that was gonna happen after Logan Paul because he made Logan Paul look really fucking good.
Yeah. So he's Terry Rozier.
Okay, I have to be the one to say it.
I ain't gonna lie.
I have to be the one to say it. All right,
but I didn't. Just to finish, I didn't. I thought maybe he would be that consistently, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if there was talks. I don't know, but it just, and he has some decent pushes, but like he's just a mid card guy, and maybe he's not complacent with that, and that's okay. But I don't. I'll let Larry finish before we do the perspective. What can happen if this is actually going on, if this is a work or a shoot? But go ahead, Larry. My bad.
Did he really make Logan Paul look good? Can we honestly have that conversation?
I would say 55-45.
Because look, okay, I understand that it takes two to tango. Absolutely. 100%. But I feel like we've seen enough of Logan Paul in the past year and a half to where it's like, look, you can say what you want about him as a person, as a human being, but in that ring, he has had no stinkers yet.
None. Yep.
None. So it would be one thing if that was like Logan Paul's first match. And it's like, wow, he had a match against another guy who, could match his style and things like that. That's cool. But we've seen like 7 Logan Paul matches. All of them have been fire. Hell, I'm going to go on a limb and honestly say that match between him and Ricochet might legitimately be the worst out of all of them, which isn't a bad thing, but it's, I can argue.
Rolling, but I don't know if I'm rolling with
Seth Rollins match. Seth Rollins match better. Cody Rhodes match better. Roman Reigns match better. Like, I think maybe the only other one you could sit there and say, didn't he have like a match with like Pat McAfee or somebody like that? If I remember correctly, I have to look.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really count that.
That's so what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is against guys on the main active roster, right? Yeah. I can argue that.
You're not saying it's a bad match, but you're putting it at the bottom of those matches. So, which I think is fair.
So the thing is, like Nelson said, you think it's going to be something at the SummerSlam thing. You have to do something to get yourself over, and he didn't do anything to get himself over. Like, if it takes you having to do a comedy bit, if it takes you having to do different things, you have to do something to get yourself over. Because it literally was the same character presentation, other than, I'm frustrated. Like, bro, they freaking brought in real life shit with his girl and was like, yo, he disrespected your girl, things like that. Like, that is literally like, all right, you got knocked out in the club by the white boy in front of your girl, and then you just tried to play it off like it never happened. That's literally his career since that. It's like, bro, no, you have to go and get
it back in blood.
Get it back in blood. Like, even if it took I'll go to Florida and get myself popping again, you gotta do something. You can't just sit there and just collect them checks. Like, it's cool, but I mean, to be honest with you, for me personally, I think they were speeding up the process because sure, they would love to have him back because people like Ricochet. If it wasn't for the fact that people didn't like Ricochet, like I said, there's other guys on both rosters and in NXT that you could easily slot into his position. Mm-hmm. And that have surpassed him in his position. Like, the problem with
Wesley.
Dragon Lee. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you say a name, I can say another name.
Yeah. All the Lees.
All the Lees. And
Murphy Lee.
He's not. This is the problem.
Zia Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the problem. He's not the only one. Like, unfortunately, he's not the only one. Dijak, Odyssey Jones. I could go down a list of people that literally have roster spots right now, but it's like the other talent have done the work. They put in the work. Mm-hmm. And they're at a point where it's like, bro, sorry to tell you, like, and the company will be fine without you. So,
and the piggyback off that, I think right now is no better time than now to explore and to be innovative in your creative, because I mean, look who's at the helm. Like, it's Hunter, who is very much a empowerment vessel with his employees, with his employees, and I think he's pretty much leaving it open for you to have these trial periods in order to like work your way through to get yourself over. And this is a good segue into like what now when it comes to Ricochet, in terms of like, do we feel this is a work? Do we feel that this is somewhat a shoot that can somehow turn into a work or anything like that? And I see the potential in there of that happening. Personally, if I was Ricochet, again, like we saw the write-off on Monday, like, which is crazy because I don't remember a time where there was an injury update for somebody that's possibly leaving.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Very much so.
Also,
that right there brings a lot of skepticism to my mix. But my thing about Ricochet, I feel that he should probably try out going to NXT for a little bit. I feel like that's the only thing he hasn't really done outside of when he did the Worlds Collide against Carmelo Hayes. What was that, last year. 2 years ago? Yeah, when he did that, and then he was right back on main roster after that. And I feel like there's opportunities there.
You could have stayed there.
Yeah, for him to be able to stay down there, do a nice little Dolph run. Literally do a Dolph run, like what Dolph did, like that when he got the NXT title, which I feel like right now there's no better time to do that. I know that Trick Williams is your champion, but you sending some, like, one thing they do with main roster talents in NXT is that they book them very strong, because it's like, I'm beyond development. You know what I'm saying? I'm beyond developmental. I am the guy. That's why I'm on main roster, so I can instantly challenge the champion. Yep. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a nice little trade-off, which also would help out Trick Williams in the long run to legitimize his championship reign even more by having him lose to Ricochet, have Ricochet be on a heel type of run, and also this is time for him to rehab his character, because we just saw it with Baron Corbin.
Literally.
Natalia.
Like
Apollo Crews.
We've seen people rehab
to some degree. Finn Balor. Finn Balor before he joined the Judgment Day. Yeah, same thing. Like,
this gives you opportunity to rehab your character, and then you have a run as a champion. You drop the belt again to Trick Williams, and that makes him even more legitimate as an NXT legend. And then you take your ass back up the main roster.
We didn't mention the one person who did it damn near voluntarily. Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Hold up. You're forgetting another big thing. In 2.5 months, they'll be going to a whole new network. You can make yourself the face of this network.
I mean,
all you have to do is take a 6-month stint, pop back up at the Royal Rumble, call your shot, boom.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I just feel like going outside of the company right now, no matter what I feel about Ricochet or whatever jokes I have about Ricochet, because again, I think Ricochet is a good talent. I think he's talented. I want to see him win. I want him to continue to be rich. He got kids to take care of. You know what I'm saying? He got a new wife, you know what I'm saying, who's like by far really ingrained in the WWE ecosystem with her job and everything like that. Yeah. And I know you don't want to be away from your old lady. Like, come on, man. Like try to find a way to make this work. Yeah.
Ain't the time for that.
I just go ahead, Earl. I'm sorry.
No, and like you said, you know, the thing that kind of does have me feeling like this is a bit of a work. I don't see the point in it.
Yeah.
It could be a character rebranding. It could be a lot. I think there's other ways it could have approached it. But let's just say that it is. Announcing that kind of injury with somebody whose future endeavor will be out of action for you know, foreseeable future just doesn't sound like a guy who's on his way out of the door.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how credible all PWI news is.
Very credible.
That's
very
credible. As credible as you're going to get.
As credible as credible
right.
can get. Yeah.
So with that, I don't know. It's just a weird side to this coin that I can't put my finger on what's going on with him. But I do think that if there's any lesson that he should take, it's that no matter what, no matter how well of a performer that you are, wrestling is about storytelling. At the end of the day, if you cannot tell a story, and especially today, verbally, there's no place for you. And going to another company ain't going to help you either, because realistically, you're not going to develop into something more. You want the notoriety and the glory, but if you're, you know what I'm saying, a shiny pig in a slop house, what does that really matter? You know what I'm saying? Like. So I think that what would be best for him, again, consider your family, consider this, that, and the third. Go down to NXT. And this isn't going down to NXT back in 2013, 14.
No,
NXT is arguably, I would venture to say that it's on par with Raw and SmackDown, as on par as a developmental league could be. You have a huge television deal coming up. The pipeline seems to be fusing even more and more every day with main roster and outside talent. Like, dog, the world is in your hands. Unless he's going to TNA, which, okay, we may be talking about something now in the Naomi situation where you go get it together and then come back.
Yeah, and then come back home. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that with everything working the way it is right now, you don't want to be the guy that missed out on all that new money coming in. Don't do that.
No, you don't want to do that. No.
So to continue off of what Earl's point, I'm kind of like 50-50 on if it's a shoot that he wants to leave and they're going to turn it to work. I don't know. But I will say one thing. If I'm him, when is the last time that you really were like thinking about, damn, this guy about to get written off? Let's see what the fuck happens.
The last time something happened, I want to say like maybe John Moxley was probably like the last time. Like I would say
Daniel's Edge, actually.
Edge.
Edge.
Yeah. That's because that's the more recent one. That's the more recent.
Yeah, Edge was like right after SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
Look who Edge is, and this is not to Ricochet, but Edge is a guy who's been wrestling for 30 fucking years. Yeah. And then Ricochet is a guy who's like, you know him, but he's on the surface in regards to like being super like known. Like he ain't gonna be the first wrestler you mentioned, but you know, you go down about a couple and then you get to that tier.
Yeah.
So if I'm him, I'm thinking about like, all right, I may not be the most known person. I'm known amongst the IWC and so on, that community.
Yeah.
But the fact that people really were trying to see how the fuck I'm about to get written off says a lot.
Yeah.
But how I could do something with this. So if I was Ricochet, Earl, you make a good point about the Impact thing because it did really well for Naomi, and also they're doing a lot of WWE TNA stuff.
It's a lot of fusing going on.
A lot. Which we about to talk about in another minute.
What you about to talk about, right? AEW, I know this. We are 69 episodes in. We have done this for a while. I'm not gonna badger AEW, but that shit is not gonna work, brother. You're gonna be featured the first week. You're gonna be you may get super kicked by the young whatever, the Jackson brothers and Okada, who is a shell of himself, and then you are going to be wrestling Trent Beretta for 5 weeks in a row.
let me tell you
it doesn't
exactly
help
what's going
what
to
you're
happen.
bad at.
That's not
Let
going
me
to
tell
work.
you. Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be the same person that he is in WWE currently. And then the other
Yes.
kicker is you're going to get an Osprey match just because of the history. The history there, you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 Osprey matches, and then he's going to be relegated back into the TNT Championship picture.
Yep.
With
But
no
don't chase
rhyme
that
or reason to
nostalgia.
it.
Like, don't
But
chase that
that
nostalgia to
Earl,
your
that's
detriment.
what they do over there.
Earl,
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
what they
That's
do.
Come
what they
on,
do,
man.
So
Like,
then there's that. And then if you want to, then the third thing is New Japan, which I'm going to be honest, granted, this brother right above me, my brother Norman Shoryworth Network, is the New Japan correspondent consultant. I wish I could find the Japanese word for it.
Connoisseur.
I will tell you that one day. I will say it and surprise you. But yes, you are the New Japan correspondent.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, and I don't watch it that much. I know enough to just be aware. That is not the viable option. That in 2024, New
it
Japan
doesn't help you.
is not the viable option that it was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, because New Japan is not really in the best place. Granted, it's doing okay in Japan, but AEW has literally pillaged all their fucking talent, and that's all they complain about now.
God,
so,
bro.
if it's me, if I'm Ricochet, I either try to find a way to stay with WWE, or I find a way, because just like how New Japan is not the viable option that it was, like I said, 7 to 10 years ago. NXT, if you're in the WWE building, is a viable option to go down. You get to wrestle every week. You get to teach some guys. Ricochet could go wrestle Trick Williams. And then if you want, you could still get paid teaching Javon Evans and all them young high flyers all the shit you want to teach them. They will love him there. So you know what? You go there, you get paid. Bruh, you're taking a one way from Florida to wherever Raw or SmackDown is to see a lady. You're still in the umbrella. You still get your bread. And you know what? Maybe the NXT going to CW, and you're the WWE guy who's there to help along. That may work for you in the long run. So I don't know. If I just find it interesting that happened, and then they did the whole he's out for an undisclosed period of time because he was supposed to wrestle Andrade for the Speed Championship. That's supposed to air too.
Friday.
All this, all this going on, where like
because he dropped the speed belt. By the way, spoiler.
That's Aaron Friday. So
yeah,
but I'm saying, like, that whole them announcing the injury thing is that kind of was like a they maybe he's on his way out and they're trying to talk him back into this thing. Which if it's me, that's the best way, because unfortunately, unless it's Impact where they're fusing things together, the other two companies we just mentioned are not viable places to be right now. Because you'll get paid, but what you gonna get paid to do? What you're gonna get paid and you're gonna be miserable.
I'm gonna actually push back on the New Japan thing for one reason.
Why?
Simple.
Even though I know he's big in Japan,
the best people in Japan can talk. The best people in Japan can talk. Like, just because you're not, and I'm not even the Americans. Like, the best people over there can talk. Like, so
and it's not, and it's also not the same New Japan that once was when he was there. It's not even the same New Japan. Like, it's completely different.
I get the whole, they have their partnerships that gives people the stench that they have, and I get some of their certain booking decisions have been, I will vomit at, right, as a fan. But at the same time, like, compared to what he thinks he's going to, no. Like, you're not going to be able to go over there and just not be able to say nothing. I mean, for crying out loud, when people saw Kenta, what was his name? And Hideo Itami.
Hideo
Itami. When he went over to New Japan, people were like, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And he has been a mid-card man ever since he's been over there. So that's a guy who was a legend in Noah before he even left. And look at what he's up to. So the point I'm making is you can come over with all that pedigree, but It's not the same, bro.
Yeah, it's not the same.
The same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And then but this is like I don't know. I don't know what we see going forward. You know what I'm saying? I think the end of July is pretty much that's the end of his contract, and we'll just kind of keep our eyes on Ricochet. Like this is honestly the longest we've ever talked about Ricochet on this podcast.
Probably the longest we'll ever talk about Ricochet.
We're probably the longest we'll ever talk about Ricochet. Because there would be no Ricochet watch on over here. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But speaking of contracts in WWE, by the way, Chad Gable seems to have read up on his new deal. He will be remaining there. That is via Pro Wrestling Insider too. Smart man. I didn't think he was going to be getting out of there anyway.
I didn't either, but I seen the meme, so I was like, all right.
Yeah. You know what happens when people re up on their contracts in WWE? So
we'll talk about that in a few. Yeah. And also, as we get to more Tongans, more Samoans. Fuck.
I told y'all. Did I not say? Did I not say June about 2 or 3 months ago? I said June.
You did. June.
What's the news, AJ?
Hukaleu, who is the brother of Tama Tonga and oh my gosh, Tongaloa, the brother of them. His New Japan contract is coming to an end, and he is pretty much set to be coming to WWE.
Yep.
There's more.
Assume. And there's more.
No, I was just saying.
He's saying there's more.
Yeah,
I thought like there's more.
There's more Tongans than Samoans.
Hey, remember that was the my Kevin Owens moment. Like there's more.
Well, remember he's not in the tag team by himself. So
no, he is not.
He's
not.
So keep that in mind.
And we have still yet to have seen Jacob Fatu, but we'll definitely keep our eyes in
that. Now
open.
We're gonna watch.
I think we're coming close to Fatu. I think we're coming close to it, but we're going to keep our eyes.
Shoot in the dark before or after SummerSlam?
Before. I say before on Fatu.
NXT Heat Wave.
NXT Heat Wave.
Yeah,
okay. So you're standing on your NXT Fatu to NXT.
If you got Hikuleo, you don't need Jacob on that main roster.
Yeah.
You really don't.
True.
I mean,
Jacob Watch is hilarious given the Jacob Watch.
Yes.
Also got to remember, Hikuleo is actually their real brother. Like that's not like some like kayfabe. That's
not
like
kayfabe, brother.
That is Tonga's baby brother. For those that don't know, Tongaloa is Haku's actual son. Tama Tonga and Hikuleo are the adopted children. Yeah. So that's their actual brother. And it only makes sense for you to add the big heater to that group, the big one. So that can actually work too. And yeah, that's going to be very interesting. So if it's me, I think Jake is Samoan spiking somebody after Heatwave and doing something crazy. So
if there's a bloodline iteration in NXT,
it won't be. It won't be.
That would be just sick.
Yeah, all right, man. Enough.
That should be like NWO 2000.
Nah, because what they're gonna do. All right, Larry's booking of that. My brain. They're gonna bring Jacob in, get him used to shit, and then when the Bloodline Civil War needs backup come October, November, that's who you call.
That's when you call
the guy who's been down
so he'll
there.
have a quick stint in NXT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him
like a Kevin Owens.
Well, they could. Right? I'm pretty sure they're gonna pull something where all rosters are available to cross promotion with each other for Survivor Series. So I would, even if he's in, that'd be his like 3rd month, 4th month in over there.
Yeah,
why not? If you're gonna do the War Games,
for sure, for sure.
And he's a 5'2", so yeah, Roman, the Usos, Jacob versus Solo, Tama, Tonga, and Hikuleo. 4-on-4 right there.
Yeah, looking pretty crazy, and I think
what's crazy?
Oh no, go ahead, Laura.
Oh no, so it's crazy. Last year, AJ, I know you said you were kind of done with War Games, and I think at least you want to see it rested. But I think if there's anyone that makes sense, especially storyline wise, to close out this chapter of having War Games and Survivor Series,
A Bloodline War.
This is the one that
they're gonna redo. AJ said this for a while. They're gonna redo what they did in 2019, which is put over NXT talent to get people to go watch them on CW, because that's when the TV deal will have kicked in, because that kicks in like in October, I want to say, for them. So yeah. It's a lot of different shifting opportunities there for that. But it's good. It's good to see that, these guys are coming over. Like, if you would have asked me, 5 years ago, like, hey, Tama Tonga is coming over, Hukaleo's coming over, oh, Tongaloa's coming back, and all of this, like, it's still crazy just seeing Tama Tonga on WWE programming today. Like, who they love, by the way. They are loving
Tama
Tonga. He is
and he's
getting
working.
hella reactions.
They're loving Tama Tonga for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, he lost me with the tribal talk he was doing to himself, but he went out in that ring and
like you said, just testing a little bit, see what you can do, what you can't do.
Panthers March.
It's the summer, man.
Exactly. And look, to your point, because I know we got a lot of more stuff to cover, but to your point, if there's any time that you should be testing everything else like that, it's this off season that we're in now. So do what y'all got to do. Stuff will hit, stuff won't. By the time we get to SummerSlam, we rocking and rolling.
Tonga's March is hilarious.
Tonga's March is insane.
What's next?
I like wrestling.
What's next?
Now moving on to like, because we were just talking about like forbidden doors and doors being kicked in and everything that. Now we have two major announcements in terms of WWE going forward in terms of partnerships. So Io Sky is going to be present and facing Utami. I don't want to butcher her last name.
Shishida.
Yes. At Marigold's Summer Destiny show in July. Like, that's insane.
Which is also co-headlined by future WWE talent Julia, who will be facing former NXT talent Sarray.
Sarray, right. So that's going to be crazy. That Io Sky is going over there to have this match, and I'm sure it's going to be a banger. I didn't know Julia would be back so soon because I thought she had broke her wrist or something like that. But
it's still advertised.
Nothing's bigger than the program.
They ain't took it off yet. So
which Marigold is run by none other than Rossi Ogawa. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So so we have a partnership over there, and breaking this morning, we have a major announcement on the way from Pro Wrestling Noah and WWE, which will be made at the Yokohama Buntai event on Sunday. A message from a certain wrestler will also be released. I know a lot of people are trying to say Shinsuke Nakamura, but I don't think it's Shinsuke. I think it's going to be somebody else. I don't know who, but I think it's going to be someone else.
I think somebody from there is coming over here. If you watched NXT this week, they talked about how there will be a battle royale with people from other locker rooms that may be popping up.
Yes. A 25-man one.
I think this is what you get at the bare minimum. Now, we've seen Charlie Dempsey go to All Japan. We've seen Shayna Baszler go to GCW. We've seen a few. We just saw Jordan Grace. So there's no telling. But it's quite interesting, the timing of this announcement. So,
very interesting, to say the least.
Is there anybody you think would that you have an idea that would be there? That would do the jump? I'm looking at the roster now. So
Kaito. I can see Kaito Kiyama doing it. Kaito is the one that is famous for slapping the shit out of Okada last year.
Oh,
where
where
everybody was like, hold on, wait a minute, like, who is this guy? So I mean a lot of the Noah guys aren't really gonna be known like that. But I could see I can see Kaito Kayama
because you're looking for the pop.
Well, Kaito himself is. I think Kaito's not that old. Like he's like an NXT's wrestler's age, if I remember correctly.
Kaito was born in 1996.
Yeah,
So yeah, he's
Good.
a
July
young guy.
96.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
so
he's their current main champion too. So yeah, that was,
because
AB
they also,
the one, yeah.
Yeah, and they also said a certain wrestler. They didn't say from which side it's going to be who's going to be delivering that message. So we got eyes on that. You know what I'm saying, to see exactly how this partnership is going. You know what I'm saying, but it's really really huge for Pro Wrestling Noah and for Marigo. Like we got some real hitters on the way. You know what I'm saying? Some real wrestling on the way, some real good quality things on and popping. And speaking of also other like partnerships we've been doing, like we just saw this past week, we saw Jordan Grace our screens at NXT Battlegrounds, and we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. You know what I'm saying? But just a few commentary from her, which is like honestly kind of made me chuckle a little bit. And she just said that, hey, going back to WWE, it's been great. It's impressive how much of a well-oiled machine they are. There is someone with an answer to everything, and they have a barber on site. That surprised me. Like, damn.
You know what that says to me? Come on.
Oh, well, yeah. It's
Now-
obvious that Jordan Grace is going to end up in WWE. Like,
Now
she's
I can
definitely
tell
gonna end
you,
up there.
when I went to the Rumble in January,
Yeah.
as much as we can talk about that crowd, when she got there, the pop and the captivity that she had over that crowd, she's a WWE talent. And when she gets there, she's going to hit. I think she can do well. She can talk well. She can wrestle well. She's got an amazing physique. I think that she's intriguing. I think she has the total package. And I think her flirting with NXT now, flirting with the main roster, we'll see where she ends
main
up.
roster.
She's main roster bound like that.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. She's one of those ones that's going to be a special talent. So, I mean, I loved obviously what she did in NXT this past few weeks, but yeah, she's really good and can go, and I think she's going to be a great asset to the women's division very soon.
Who's the barber on site? Is it Alexis King's barber?
It might be Lexus King's barber. It might be his Dominican barber.
What's his name? Oscar.
I have no idea
like
what his
Oscar.
name.
Like I'm not even being funny. I think it's like Oscar. Yeah.
She was like, I have left Walmart and came to Target.
And came to Target. It is Target over here.
All I'm gonna say is free Pentagon Jr. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey.
That's all I'm gonna say. But September.
And to wrap up the news segment real quick, and I don't want to talk about this too long, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we are now over 2 months since WWE announced the airing of the WrestleMania 40 documentary, and it's still unknown when this documentary will be released. And I'm just going to say this for all of us in here, including Earl, because if y'all remember, during WrestleMania season, I had such a ball fucking with Earl and Winston while they were just boosting their good friend Dwayne on top.
Hold on. We actually have an update on Mr. Dwayne himself.
But wait a minute. But I'm just gonna say that this whole documentary mess, which is hilarious, is just Dwayne and Brian Gerwirz trying to get their lives together to try to make it seem like, oh, actually, yeah, we told Cody to go ahead and do it. You know, we kind of just we finessed the crowd into believing that they weren't going to get the match. You're a liar, Dwayne. You're a liar. Stop it.
But speaking of Dwayne lies, I mean,
brother,
we're here.
He was looking like Wayne Newton in that movie.
Okay, cut it. Enough. Yeah, enough. Dwayne. Okay,
Bruh.
thanks.
Wait.
Thanks.
Don't y'all gotta remember too that he's doing Who Killed WCW, popping up and they're like, yeah, you know.
That is if I speak, we will be here for another hour. I promise you.
I just have one statement to make. Just one.
Okay.
Just one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Summer Jam screen myself for this one if you don't mind, because I want this to be all on me. For all of you lovely ladies and gentlemen that are on Elon's app talking about, oh man, like we were robbed of not getting Dwayne and Roman, like that right there is what you got, like from a movie set. So if you thought that man was going to carry this company, I don't know what to tell you other than I'm going to ask where your sister's at next, but we're going to leave it at that. So on that, let's go to the next segment, because y'all and this whole like anti-Cody thing has been hilarious, but I get it.
We're only 60 days in.
He can't even do stunts.
What?
He can't do stunts. And you wanted him to be the champion?
Put the screen on me.
What the fuck?
Bruh. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was huffing and puffing like an 18-wheeler with the gas light on I-95 South. And there was no gas nearby. Walking to the ring. And y'all wanted him to be the champion with that fantasy football ass belt.
Yes. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Look at him emotional. Listen, we like Dwayne Johnson. We appreciate what Dwayne has done for us in the past. But in the Lords and the Aztec year of 2024, where we do not use sundials anymore, I do not want to see that shit. Okay? If you want Dwayne and Roman to wrestle, there's a video game called WWE 2K24 out now. You can sim it and do it there and put it on YouTube and put it all over social media.
He's 52 years old.
If you want, even better, if you want to be more snarky and marky, put it on Fire Pro Wrestling. Fuck it. Let the smarts be happy about it. But as a person who appreciates wrestling and understands that a 4-year storyline just ended, and a 4-year storyline, that a 4-year reign is not going to be erased in 2 months completely, and you need to start things anew. There's a reason why it's not what it is right now. Also, stop lying to yourself and stop lying to me and everybody in here and everybody who's watching this as if you are so fucking tapped into wrestling when the summer solstice is out, when you've never been that tapped in before. So please stop lying to me, stop lying to everybody, and most importantly, stop lying to your damn self, all right? It's nice outside. It gets dark past 8 o'clock now. Stop lying. Drink water, touch grass, and AJ, let's go on with this damn show. Thank you. Sorry.
And with that being said, let's get into goddamn this week in wrestling.
I hope y'all had fun.
Oh, I had a ball because you know what? I forgot that this is Earl's first time on here, this is Earl's first time being on here since WrestleMania. And the guy, I had to come with it.
I've been waiting, baby.
That kick was loaded to kick my back in, and I understand, brother.
And I wasn't planning that. I wasn't. But then I forgot. And I said, "Oh, Earl's here."
Look, I talked big shit for 3 months, 95 days, to be exact.
Damn.
You told me when I called just to ask you how you were doing. There was nothing you can say to me. Like I remember this. So,
hey man, it'd be like that sometimes, man.
Hey Earl, I can't wait to watch this match at WrestleMania 41 because it's gonna happen in Vegas.
Comedy.
I can't wait to watch this cinematic masterpiece.
I can't wait till we're all there to watch it too, because we're gonna manifest that we're all in Vegas.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait to watch it too.
But you know what I can't wait to watch? This Week in Wrestling.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So we are just coming off of a pretty solid NXT PLE with Battleground that took place at the Apex, the UFC Apex. Now I gotta ask a question, okay? Because I felt this while I was watching it. Were y'all a little nervous about like how much space they had between the gates in the ring? Because bro, listen,
especially since that ladder match was the first match, and it was like when it came to the distance, like it was crazy. So.
That was the most house show looking pay-per-view as far as spacing I've seen. Probably
quite some time.
Yeah, bro. Like it was and like Larry said, the concerns were out the gate because the ladder match alone, it's just like
first match.
You know how free and how especially how tall ladders have been lately in matches.
Yeah.
And just how free range that they've been overall, kind of being less of a car crash over the last 10 years and more of just really, really well put together matches. You know, to be restricted in that kind of movement, trying to do something in a UFC arena, I didn't care for it, but you know, still it was a decent pay-per-view overall. I don't know if I would go that angle again.
Yeah, it was a solid PLE overall. I think it was a nice pilot to maybe if they want to hold an event there again to maybe expand it just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? In case they want to do it in the Apex again. It was, you know, set wise, it was put together real. It looked cool as a set from far away. But when you got up close, I'm just like, bro, I hope no one gets hurt. Like, I don't want anyone to get hurt.
You know, it's crazy. They made the Apex look bigger than what I thought it was.
That's because we used to that big ass octagon in the middle of it.
And you're also used to the lights being off too.
The lights being off,
and the lights being off.
I mean, it was cool. It was cool to see it that way, but it was a solid. I mean, I watched some of it when I could the night it premiered, like on Sunday, but then I caught up and watched everything, you know, to this point. But it was a solid pay-per-view. I really think this pay-per-view was most importantly a showcase for the women.
Absolutely.
I feel like, you know, granted, not that the men's matches were bad or anything, but I feel like there's some moments, but for the most part,
2-1 for me. But continue.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like the women really, every women's match was great. The ladder match was incredible. You know, we had 6 really great women in that ladder match who all had a chance to win that belt. So. I mean, shit. You know, it was a great pay-per-view. It was a very solid pay-per-view, and I think, like I said, this really did a lot for the women of NXT, especially for that North American Championship. So
yeah, I agree.
That belt is nice too. I like that belt.
Yeah, the belt is really nice. I think, you know, despite, you know, well, Sexy Red probably definitely had her a day. For real. I won't cover a lot of what was going on that day for Sexy Red, but
she had her own battleground. She had her own battleground at Newark Airport,
so to speak. Yeah. But she came out. She kind of just did her thing that, you know, she was intended to do. She came out there twerking and throwing ass, and you know,
just doing what she's supposed to do.
Doing what she's supposed to do. Having fun during, you know. Having fun during the whole thing, and that was cool to have her as a host. But just to get into these matches real quick, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend a lot of time on here because we still got to get to Clash. And you know, again, the women's six woman ladder match for the newly crowned NXT Women's North American Championship. We saw Kalani Jordan actually win this match out of Sol Ruka, Fallon Henley, Jada Parker. My favorite to win it actually was Last Legend, and then we also had Mi Chen, but Kalani Jordan comes out on top. Not really feeling that personally. I don't feel like Kalani, that was earned, so to speak. I'm not saying that Kalani's doing a bad job, but literally she's just been losing this entire period, you know what I'm saying, of her since she's, you know, went into singles action in the NXT space. So I don't really know exactly what we're what her whole arc is going to be as being, the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion. I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I felt it was last. Yeah, I honestly, I feel the safe choice really was Sol Ruka. That's what I felt.
Yep.
Was the safe choice in this.
I think they want Sol Ruka to have a bigger moment. And I don't know if that bigger moment is her getting that title later or if it's her getting that main title later. But I think that's the bigger moment for her. I honestly don't think Kalani Jordan's gonna hold this title long herself. I think eventually one big storyline to watch is how Jakara Jackson didn't even make their combine to even qualify for that. So that's a big story. And then also they're teasing Metaphor breaking up. So, her and Lash could be something later on down the line. So I think that's something to pay attention to. I think Mia Yim, aka Michin, and Jada Parker are gonna have a phenomenal summer feud. I think they're gonna have a phenomenal summer feud. I think that's the kind of feud that Jada Parker needs to kind of like establish herself. Same way, Natalia just did with Lola Vice to help her get past that, moment she was at. I mean, just with Shayna Baszler as well, which we'll get to in a second. But I think Jada Parker is next up for that kind of main roster level talent feuding with her. So
yeah. And so I guess that's really like, that's kind of like a direction we can go in. I guess the next thing I want to talk over real quick. Now we had honestly and truthfully, personally, I think this is probably the best NXT Underground match ever. Personally,
oh yeah,
this match
they went crazy.
Yeah, Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler went nuclear in this match, man. Like this is and the biggest take of all, which I think everyone agrees with, was that this was better than whatever that piece of shit her and Ronda did last year at SummerSlam that unfortunately I had to bear witness of in person.
Can we pause there real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to give us I just want to give a shout out to Shayna, man, just because to be able to come from up under the dusty shadow that was Ronda Rousey in WWE and really be the type of worker that she is, just being that whatever she needs to be, and she can wrestle her ass off. And on top of that, I think she's done a really great job of establishing herself away from that, especially post-COVID.
For sure.
Because, they kind of were building them, of course, when she got in as a stable, and then things got rocky from there. And it just to me, I think what she's done, especially post that match in SummerSlam, I just think that she should be commended for it. And I would love to see what comes of her as a singles competitor, especially going into next year, because I really think she got it. But, man, that match, dude, like you said, 5 stars. They hit every Martin, and Shayna. I'm just glad to see her finally really away from that, pulling into her own. Like she's obviously been away from Ronda for a minute, but just that cloud just seems to be gone. She's just seeing Shayna now.
And Shayna, you got to remember, Shayna is just so well liked among everybody. Like if you just look at all the damn TikToks, Shayna's in all of them. Like she's always around. She's like Shayna's
very
like
well liked. She can be whatever you need. She can be a face. She can be a heel. She can be a tween. Whatever you need her to be, she can do it to the utmost. So I really
extremely serviceable. Yeah,
man.
Very much so. Very much so.
You see Ricochet? I'm sorry. This was a very sorry.
But Shayna can talk.
But this. This was a very good match too. I really enjoyed this, especially from the stench of what Ronda did. Because but this is the best underground match. This was the best MMA themed match. This checked all the boxes. 5 stars. Shout out to Lola Vice. Shout out to Shayna Baszler. And overall, they were 2 for 2. I mean, Kalani understand.
And the right woman won.
Kalani, I could understand the debate. Like, it could have been Lash, it could have been Soul, it could have been, I think Jada Parker. Everybody wanted Jada Parker to win, but I don't think, not yet. She needs still a little bit more singles. experience maybe a nice little feud, aside from the OTM thing on her own. I think she'll be fine. But and Michin is there to help the women, to help do developmental. Even though that shit was funny when she pinned Jada Parker and smacked the shit out of her ass. She done went 3 and just ran away. But that's NXT feed though. But
yeah, for sure.
They were 2 for 2.
And then to gloss over real quick, the Good Brothers and Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they retained their tag titles. Really nothing crazy there, but good for them. And shout out to their drunken videos in Vegas after that. That shit was funny.
Was
both of them with the mask on the bus had me crying.
Yeah, that was
Nathan
insane.
had his own mask.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The triple threat, that's something that that's one of my matches in terms of the men that I think stood out a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think that stood out even more. A lot of spots in this match. I'm not an Obafemi guy. I'm not, but I will say that Obafemi showed me something in this match.
It's like it's kind of like I look at Obafemi like it's like Tim Duncan. Like I can't stand Tim Duncan, right? But you can't deny what he's.
No, he don't do nothing wrong.
No, he don't do nothing wrong. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was actually more impressed with Joe Coffey because I was like, all right, like I know Joe Coffey can wrestle, but I'm like, you're not the favorite in any of this. Like you have to look good, and boy, did he
did.
Listen. Shout out to the Gallows boys, man. They definitely made this entertaining. So
shout to Wesley nasty. Too. That is nasty saying shout out to the Gallows boys on here. But hey, I gotta give due. I gotta give just due
credit, man.
I gotta show some credit on that.
Shout out to
Wesley. Nasty.
I got something else to say about Gallows later, but I'm gonna save that. But
I will say shout out to Wesley and shout out to Obafemi, man. The spots he had were crazy.
Like I said, spots, man.
Obafemi after this pay-per-view has strayed further away from Ahmed Johnson allegations. So salute to him on that.
Yeah. That's crazy. Ahmed Johnson.
Listen,
that's crazy.
If I'm lying,
who the fuck said? I'm sorry, no. Who the fuck said Ahmed Johnson?
It's the build. It's the look. It's
me,
and the way he wrestles, low key.
Listen, if you were listening to
talks
this,
better than Ahmed Johnson.
You can add me. My Twitter is there at Who's Original. We can talk this.
He talks better than Ahmed Johnson. I mean, that's crazy.
I'm not even trying to I promise I'm not trying to nothing. I'm just like I just had to let that marinate for a second. I was like Ahmed fucking Johnson.
Yeah, bro. He do talk better than Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson used to tell he had fucking cement in his mouth.
Like that right there. You saying Ahmed Johnson is literally like for me. Earl saying Bunny Colvin like Daryl Strawberry. I'm like, fam, like how did you see? How did you see?
Because got the belt too quick.
If you would like to be in on these jokes, join the Discord. Pay the $3 and join the Discord.
Bunny Colvin and Daryl still the funny shit. But back to the card.
This might be right.
Let's get back to the card.
Yeah, back to the card.
But like he showed out, man.
Great match.
Yeah, he showed out. Real great match.
That fucking
the meteor catch was crazy. To the power bomb. The top rope spot was insane. That was crazy. Like Wesley, look, the thing is, like, that's my thing. Like, what's next for Wesley? And honestly, I think it has to do with really the main event. And the reason why I want to talk about the main event first is because I feel like it shouldn't have been the main event. But I think between these two individuals, I think that's the next step for Wesley. You know what I'm saying? It's the North American title is behind him now. He's already had to run with it. He don't need to compete for that no more. It's time for him to go after the big kahuna, and that's the NXT championship. And I think we can have a friendly fade between him and Trick Williams. But even before we get to Trick Williams, we can talk about the newest asset to WWE NXT, and that's Ethan Page. And we can have a program there for Wesley to go to Ethan Page before the next stop, which would be Trick Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would agree.
So,
he went against everybody he needed to go against who is contending for the North American Championship, won the North American Championship. I thought that a while ago when Winston and I went to Vengeance and saw him against Dijak.
Yeah.
And I think the back injury kind of set him back. But like when I watched that match, I'm like, no, this motherfucker's nice. He can fucking go.
And
like,
I think they're gonna run Ethan and Trick back personally.
Yeah, they may run it back one more time or something like that.
I think it's happening because for one, the spot at the end of the match with the ref getting involved was telling.
True.
And then two, Ethan Page is from Canada. The next PLE is in Canada.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
So
they could run it back.
Yeah, so that'll be the night after, which is Heat Wave. So I could totally see them run that back. And the thing is, you don't want, if you do have anything planned for Ethan Page, anything, you don't want to have him come in and break the Trick Williams momentum that early on. Like within a week of him debuting. Like you don't want to do that.
No,
so
not at all.
You want to build up the potential outside interference, the potential, ongoing things with Trick Williams, and you have to give it a month, which we're about to have, of TV build up to get to that point. So to properly get a match. So
now I do believe that, this match, for it being such a quick build. I mean, you literally just debut Ethan Page, immediately gave him a title match. I think the match was well paced and fine tuned to Trick Williams' style of how he wrestles, because I do feel Trick Williams has improved a lot in the ring and everything, but there's still room for even more improvement, especially as we get to that eventual Trick versus Wesley at some point down the line. But if you want to run it back again with an Ethan Page and again put Trick over again in that rematch, and then we pass on Ethan Page to Wesley for him to have a battle tested type of feud before he reaches that title picture, I think that's a solid trajectory of like things to come for this whole situation. But yeah, it was a solid match. It was decent. I'm not, when I was watching a nice amount of AEW, I was not I was not the biggest fan of Ethan Page. You know what I'm saying? I do, however, am impressed with the fact of how much he slowed himself down, and also how he's calmed himself down even in his promos, because if you go back and look at him in AEW, he was yelling during his promos, and it was yelling to the point that it was just fucking annoying. I was just like, dog, I don't see it.
I heard the name, but I never watched him, so I mean, I'm gonna take
he's literally his same gimmick. He's the same all ego. That's the same gimmick that he was. He just brought it over to NXT. It's the same thing. But so far right now, I can't say it's a nice, easy transition having him over NXT.
Well, it's all about the P word, which is presentation. And exactly. I think that when you have people that can help you with that presentation versus people who cannot help you with that presentation, it makes a big difference. But also, you have to look at what you're going against, and you're going against a character, like Shawn Michaels said, where character is just as important as talent, which we talked about earlier with Ricochet, versus two guys yelling at each other about who's the best wrestler. So
exactly.
Yeah,
this is why you see a much better Ethan Page presentation, and honestly why he's been an NXT target for some years now. So
yeah. So it's really, really solid to see that. And then lastly, which I felt this should have been the main event of this whole thing, but and by far it is the best match of the night, and that is Roxanne versus Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. So yes, we finally get to see Jordynne Grace again, the TNA Knockouts champion, face to face with Roxanne, and I'm telling you, it was a great symphony, a great, just beautiful work by these two ladies. You know what I'm saying? Roxanne really made Jordynne look good out there, as Roxanne does, because Roxanne is just solid and literally a prodigy. Literally, you know what I'm saying? And you know, there was a lot of people saying like, I wish Jordan went over, and I'm just like, bro, Jordan is still a TNA act. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's still at TNA, so I don't see her, dropping that title to Jordan right now. But it's also a nice fine-tuned situation to when Jordan finally does make it over here, that Jordan, comes back and say,
she's coming for her.
I want to get
Off
it back
the
in blood, and
Yeah.
then I'm taking that belt right off Roxanne in that match. So I think it's open opportunity there for that to happen. And go ahead, bro.
And you know what? If they were to book her in a situation where the first night she premieres, she takes that title off her, I would not be mad at it.
Absolutely. That would be fine tuned for that.
I'd be A-okay with that. She comes in, takes the title. And honestly, I wouldn't mind it in a squash match. I'm normally against squash matches, but in this case, I think that it could be the start of a series. She squashes her first, and then we get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
2 or 3. But coming in off the bat, I would like nothing more that she comes in there, absolutely pulverizes her, takes the title.
Really a Jordan Grace guy, man.
Well,
Jordan,
you know why? Because she's refreshing from the standpoint of typically with shorter talent, they're not booked in a dominant fashion for women typically. So I like to see this because you know me, I'm a domination kind of person when it comes to wrestling.
See,
so I like her being booked as a dominant player like that, even though she may not be the tallest girl in the world. She comes in and gets it done. So yeah. I mean, I like her style. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I really like her style.
Think about
this past year's been.
Yeah, I see.
We about to get Roxanne and Julia. And whenever Jordan Grace come, like you get Jordan Grace versus Julia, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
shout to Roxanne, because that's a
crazy,
hell of a target on her back right now.
Yeah. Roxanne good to the end of the year with whoever, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy. So in this match now, the craziest part of this match, however, I mean, which is something that me personally, I kind of expected some type of TNA storyline to kick over into the WWE thing. It's just the person that they did, which is Ash by Elegance.
You said it right.
Formerly Dana Brooke coming out.
17th face.
Yeah, it's, Dana Brooke, formerly known as Dana Brooke, comes out and interferes in this matchup, which kind of So it really wasn't a clean finish for
it was a dusty
Roxanne.
Finish. Right.
Yeah, it was a dusty finish. So
that's why it wasn't the main event.
Yeah, it wasn't the main event.
Right there.
I guess so.
Dusty finish.
So, but yeah, I think it leaves a lot more wanting, a lot more desire from those two. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more from those two in the future.
Absolutely.
But shout out to Jordan Grace. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
but
shout out to NXT. It was a really
shout out to
good.
NXT. Yeah. Shout out to Jordan Grace. And then if you were watching NXT on Tuesday, Cody popped up. I won't talk about it too much, but hey, Cody was in the building and he was King Troll of the evening. But shout out to Cody. Finger points everywhere. Kind of like what we did before we started this podcast.
Yes, indeed.
Telling people they're in good places.
Yes, sir.
Telling
people, hey, good to see you here. Good to see you here.
Good to see you here.
We're missing one guy, but hey, almost there.
But Ricky.
But before we get out of here, you know what I'm saying? We are on the cuffs of WWE Clash in the Castle.
Yes, sir.
That is coming live from is it in Glasgow? Scotland?
Glasgow.
Yeah. It's coming live from Glasgow, Scotland. Drew McIntyre is in front of his people once again. But just to talk about this card, his real people this time. Just to, we about to talk about this, just do some predictions on this card real quick before we get out of here. But just to glance over this card, we got Fire and Dawn. We have a three-way women tag team match for the women's tag titles. We got Fire and Dawn versus Blazer and Stark versus Jade and Bianca. The next match, we got AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes in the I Quit match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. We got Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. A match that I'm thinking that's going to be a banger personally, but Piper Niven versus Bayley for the WWE Women's title.
Going to steal the show.
Is this Bayley's just second defense, right? Since
yes, this will be her second defense.
Second PLE defense. For sure.
PLE defense.
Oh, PLE defense. Yeah,
for sure.
And then for the main event, which I feel is going to be the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
So let's get into what we think is going to happen. We can start off with the women's tag titles. I feel like this is a quick choice here.
Yep. Retain.
You feeling like a retain here?
100%.
Nelson.
Yeah, I'm a second now. I think we get a retain here.
Larry is making a face currently. Larry's thinking the Larry finish here.
I got fire and dawn, man. But really? It's simply because I think they are the wild cards here, because you kind of saw Shayna and Zoe happening for sure. Right. But then you have to remember they were the tag champs before they pulled that BS with She Who Shall Not Be Named. Y'all already said her name earlier. I don't want to say her name again on this podcast because she's a horrible human being. But,
Mitsubishi?
No, not Mitsubishi. No. The Honda that rhymes with R. Yeah, we don't want to. I don't.
UFC.
Horrible woman. Yeah.
Oh.
She has. Yeah.
The
so
Honda that rhymes with R.
Yeah. So I think you can get. Because think about this tag reign, it doesn't have to be long, but you can also give them an actual team to go against, because you got to remember, whatever plans they had with Damage Control got scrapped because Asuka's
hurt.
Asuka's hurt. But, I mean, hey, how can you get mad at Asuka when she celebrated 20 years of debuting and she's got all those titles, was a graphic designer, owns her own design agency, was a writer for Xbox Magazine, hair salon owner, successful YouTube channel, and a mocap for Virtua Fighter. You see all the accolades right there, man. Come on.
We'll feel better soon, Oscar.
Legend. In 2 games like Pee Wee Kirkland.
More like 5.
Yeah.
But that's my snarky answer, and I'll be smiling if it happens, but it should definitely be Bianca and Jade for sure.
I don't think this is the PLE to do it. I think Jade and Bianca will probably be tag champs going into SummerSlam, and then we probably get a little title change there. I still think there's still room for those two.
Sure.
I think certain seeds will be planted around that women's Money in the Bank match.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling that.
But see, I think if you do it now, right, they're still going to be cool, but you can still plant those seeds going into that women's Money in the Bank, because that'll be their first time where it's like, well, one of us has to win, right? So yeah. But we'll see.
We'll see on that.
Before we were on here, whatever's going to put Bianca on the road to being somewhat of a heel, I'm all for.
Ain't no somewhat, bro. That heel is gonna be.
I want to, oh my gosh, bro!
Yeah,
listen, I want to see it so badly.
Well, hey, look, you can go back and look at NXT, and you will see her be a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like her NXT run as a heel.
I want to see her run it back, because even though she never had the title in NXT, hey man, you knew from jump she was the one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah,
absolutely.
Next match, AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes in the I Quit match for the WWE Championship. I mean, I got Cody winning this.
Yeah.
But I do feel like we're going to get bloody. It's going to get bloody. Cody's a Carney.
It's Cody Rhodes, bro.
It's Cody Rhodes. We're going to get bloody here.
Carney alert.
Carney Rhodes.
Funny enough, this might open the show. Because
it could open,
because Cody's the type of person, he wants that kind of ending to that match will have people talking throughout the night. So I don't think you want to put on that match right before the main event. I think that's a good opener. Yep. I think either that or the Bailey match will be the opener, personally. But
yeah. Well, you got to think about it this though. But Piper is Scottish, so
no, she's the hometown. Yeah,
she's hometown. So I think her going. Well, whatever. I think her going before Drew is probably the night.
Move.
The move.
Well, I mean, don't forget Alba and Isla are hometown too.
Yes, so, yeah, they are too.
It's a tag match though, so it'll probably be one of the first 2 matches.
Yeah, they'll probably be one of the first 2.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I think it's all unanimous Cody Rhodes with that.
Yeah, it's all unanimous Cody on that. Yeah. Loud crowds.
Cody Rhodes. Yeah,
right. Thank God we're getting back to that because Toledo, you sucked. Anyway, Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship.
I might be on my Larry booking here.
Larry's booking Sami Zayn to win this one.
Okay, well, I might be booking how you booked the women's tag time. I think I got Chad Gable going over.
I have Chad Gable going into a feud with his former associates and forming a new stable after this.
Okay.
With the Creed brothers. And I feel like Sammy will probably lose the IC title somehow, some way down the line. But I got Sammy retaining. I mean, it's cool if Chad gets this. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, no, you're not tripping.
But I got Sammy retaining for now.
If you asked me this around SummerSlam, I would have said Chad Gable, but I don't think it's gonna happen yet. But the seeds are getting planted where like he dumps Otis and Tozawa and Maxine, and then gets the Creed brothers, and then like they play a part of Sammy losing the title. But I don't think that happens. I mean, if it does happen, cool, but I don't think it happens right now.
Yeah, I think
give it a couple more months.
I think Sammy got some big hitters that he needs to be worried about on Monday Night Raw that are on the way. I mean, he still has yet to have the proper one-on-one feud, non-Chad Gable involved with Bronson Reed.
Fair.
And I mean, I don't think this Braun Breaker Dragunov thing is happening for no reason either. So Sammy has got his work cut out for him very soon. Yeah. But I think Gable will come very, very close. But I think this is the moment that breaks Chad Gable, where he goes full force with the Creed brothers.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going with Sammy right now just because I think Otis is turning on Chad in this match.
Yep.
And if you were looking at Raw Monday, you saw, in the background, Chad was talking with Ivy Now, and we all know Ivy Now is the Creed brothers. Basically, they're her handler. She's their handler. So there's some seeds being planted there, but I think by SummerSlam, Chad is probably going to end up being the Intercontinental Champion, and the Creed brothers are probably going to start pushing their way up the ladder to get to those world championships, world tag championships. So we'll see something there. It's a split, but not so much. I mean, hey, jump out the window on Chad right now. I totally understand on that note too. But the oldest thing is really the thing that's throwing me off. That's fair, yeah. That's the oldest part.
But also, I think Sammy going into Canada as IC champion is going to be a moment too. So
true.
We'll see.
So Piper Niven versus Bailey, the WWE Women's Championship. I think this is going to be a really great match.
I do too.
Because of 2 reasons. For one, these are 2 women who are beloved over there, because I'm telling you, they're going to be singing them damn Bailey songs.
Oh, God.
And they're going to be chanting crazy for Piper Niven.
Yep.
And it's going to be a movie watching these 2 go at it with that type of electricity from that crowd. It's going to be really, really fun to watch this match. Yeah. But I got Bailey, of course. I'm a Bailey guy.
I do as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Bailey on this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Bailey, but I'm not gonna lie. A Piper Niven Nia Jax Hoss fight at SummerSlam would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be.
That's Biggie's dream. That's Biggie's dream right there.
Would be phenomenal to see.
Big meaty women.
Because you're not gonna see
big meaty women.
Something close to that.
Biggie is smiling.
So I think that would be nice, but Bailey's gonna somehow win this because Bailey's Bailey. So
I got Bailey on that, and I think it's unanimous across the board about Bailey. Now, this main event.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you this first and foremost. I'm going to get it out the fucking way. I'm going to get myself out the way. It is time. It's time for Drew McIntyre to win his damn belt.
It is time.
Thank you, Damon Priest. You got that photo op at the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Damn.
But but Drew losing.
It's time.
In front of his people. Because
he lost last year too.
Yeah, he lost last year in front of his people. No. It's time. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and you are thinking about that bastard Phillip Brooks. I know you're thinking about that, and I hear you. I'm not saying that Phillip is not going to be involved in this match. I'm not going to say that the Judgment Day is not going to be involved in this match either, because I also see Finn Balor is pulling some shit behind closed doors.
Well, Judgment Day is banned.
Oh, well, Judgment Day is banned. The Judgment Day is banned, but CM Punk is not. However, I think Damian Priest this is not the last run. This is not the last time Damian Priest is going to hold that title. But this is the time now, and I think it also sets up a really good main event picture for Drew and Gunther for SummerSlam to happen. Now, the only other scenario I can see is if you get Drew to win Money in the Bank and then he fucking cashes in on Damian Priest. But the other kicker is that I think Sami Zayn is going to win Money in the Bank this year. So I think there's no better time than now for Drew McIntyre to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm done.
I don't want to see anything remotely close to Drew winning that Money in the Bank, because I think he's already had our favorite word, carny dealings with that world title already.
Yeah.
And I want to see not a clean finish, but I want to see him just get that 1, 2, 3 and walk out. I think it'd be a vastly large mistake to have him lose in Glasgow.
And also, I'm gonna piggyback off of you too, respectfully. Drew is actually kind of going into this match on a babyface level. If y'all didn't know 100%.
Yeah.
He's going in as a babyface.
Yep.
So that's another thing to pay attention to, because yes, we know Drew is a heel right now, but he's going into Scotland and he's going into as a babyface, and you know that crowd is going to be behind him. But I just wanted to throw that bit in too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I'm picking Drew. I think this is the time. I feel like not to harken back to that, but the way that y'all felt about it was the time for Cody. I think this is the time, and this is where everything is coming together for Drew at the right time. And yeah, I like Damian Priest. I do. It's not taking anything away from him. It's just, this is the moment. This is literally the place to do it. So I got Drew.
Nelson.
Hey man, shout out to my fellow Boricua brother Damian Priest, but yeah, I think it's Drew. It just makes sense. After last year, after everything that Drew has gone to this point, Drew is over as hell, even though he's kind of like a dickhead babyface, but it makes sense for him. And it's funny because like it's gonna make sense when he goes against Phil, when Phil comes back, and obviously Gunther. So I think as much as like I want Priest to at least hold it to SummerSlam, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Drew wins it, and then I think with Priest and Finn get into it, and the Judgment Day thing happens. So I think somehow, some way, what I think is gonna happen is, even though the Judgment Day are somehow, some way are barred from ringside, somehow, some way, they make this carny. They do something in this match, they I don't know if it'll be Dom or JD. I think it's especially Finn. Finn fucks it up for Damian Priest. Damian Priest loses that title to Drew McIntyre, and then you set up Drew versus, it could be Gunther. It could be, if Phil comes back by SummerSlam, you get Punk back. But that sets up the Damian Priest Finn Balor over the Judgment Day, and that's a whole nother thing you can work on and stretch on, because then you're going to start seeing the Judgment Day fall apart.
It is Gunther, because Gunther got the match at SummerSlam.
Gunther got
King
you're
of the
right.
Ring.
It's King of the Ring. So
Yeah.
you'll get Drew and Gunther at SummerSlam, which is totally fine.
Hey, 5-star already. I
Totally
think
fine.
honestly, what
Go ahead.
happens with the Judgment Day after, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no! So just to piggyback off you, I think they come out, and once he loses the title, they pack him out.
Yeah.
They pack him out, and that's what starts it.
Or somehow, even though they're barred from ringside, I think they find a way to somehow
To get in there somehow.
Somebody sneaks in there and messes it up, and then obviously we're going to see the beginning of the end, because now you got Liv playing, messing with Dom, with Rhea out, and then you're going to get Liv and Rhea whenever Rhea comes back, and then obviously now you're going to see, now it's two, people are going to get pulled two sides, like Dom is getting pulled at the Rhea, the Liv thing with Rhea, and then now he's going to get pulled into this whole Damian Priest thing with Finn and all them. So I think Finn, they find a way to get that, and then that's another story within itself with Judgment Day. Now you have two stories in one with one faction, and that doesn't happen often, and you can stretch that for a little bit. So I think, as much as I love Damian Priest, I think he will get another title shot again, but now it's time to let the Judgment Day do Judgment Day things, and we move on to that. I think Drew McIntyre wins. I would be shocked if Drew McIntyre did not win on Saturday. But if Damian Priest won, fuck it, man. I've never seen a Puerto Rican world champion until now, so I'll live with it.
All right, Larry, tell us why you have Damian Priest. Go ahead.
I don't have Damian Priest, but I have to tell y'all that I think y'all are wrong. So let me walk y'all. Remember this for what I think is going to happen from now until SummerSlam. Okay. What has Drew been saying for the last couple of weeks about Clash at the Castle? If you come over there, you are liable to get jumped. When you jump somebody, you can't do it by yourself. Who else is Scottish, and who else just got basically repackaged and re-debuted a couple weeks ago in the WWE universe? That's also from Scotland. Gallus Boys on
Gallus.
Now, do I think Drew will win? Yes. Can I see Punk coming out and getting his ass kicked? Yes. Can I see Punk, because Punk can't just go straight to a Drew match, can I see Punk working himself through the crew, i.e. the way one of his heroes, the Stone Cold Steve Austins of the world, would do back in 1999, where you go through the faction before you finally get to the Triple H or whoever you want to get to, the Rock, the going through the corporate guys. Yeah. You said Sami Zayn winning Money in the Bank. That's possible. Personally,
hell no.
Personally,
No.
what?
Punker.
Day one-ish. Jey Uso.
Oh.
I got Jey Uso winning. And the reason why I have Jey Uso
you said
winning,
back when he lost King of the Ring, though. So, I mean, you stand on it.
You can't.
Yeah. You said it like that.
They keep putting him that high up, and he is yet to hold a singles title. Him beating Sami Zayn for the IC title would be cool, all right? But I can totally see it. Also, remember, him and Gunther had a very, 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 very close match during that King of the Ring tournament. It was the finals for their respective brand. What this does, you keep Drew in line for something, right? But in the meantime, Drew can't automatically focus on the title because he has to worry about Punk. And when you do that, you also have this moment where obviously there's going to be as like a comic book, the all new, brand new Judgment Day, which is Finn, JD, and whoever, and Carlito probably, versus Damian, Dom, and Rhea.
Mhm.
Because Damian is going to be like, all right, fuck you, Finn, for breaking this up. Dom is going to go against Finn as well, which JD is his boy. So you got those two going together. And then you just magically add Rhea in for the pop of the year. That's your feud with those teams. But you get Jey Uso or Sammy in that instance to get them out the way so that world title can be focused with Gunther, because Gunther's going to have grudges with both of them. Sammy took his IC title, and Jay got, Jay is Jay. So him being champion would just burn Gunther alive. So I don't have Sami Zayn winning Money in the Bank this year. I actually have Sami Zayn winning Royal Rumble this year, but coming up. So that's my prediction of how I think they're going to run things personally. Because the thing about Drew being champion is it's cool if Drew's champion, but do remember we've already seen Drew lose to Gunther before at a WrestleMania. We've also seen Drew lose to Gunther at SummerSlam over the IC title. I don't think they want to run Drew losing to Gunther again.
Yeah.
So I think the easy way to set that up is you have Jey Uso or Sammy, whoever, have their moment in that Money in the Bank match, cash it in, and here we are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and then there's always that one guy, that one crazy bastard that's on Raw right now that's been spearing the shit out of my guy.
Exactly.
And that's that
True.
big bastard Braun Breaker. But hey, we'll talk about him more later on.
Right.
But yeah, man. But yeah, that right there, that is Clash at the Castle, and that's what we're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we're all kind of in a bit of agreement here when it comes to Drew McIntyre in terms of his trajectory at Clash at the Castle, and that is him getting that World Heavyweight Championship and not fumbling the bag this time. So
also
I want to add that Drew also has a new contract, so that's something.
Also,
to pay,
one big thing to pay attention to. I'm not trying to be conspiracy guy, I swear. But remember, Triple H, but confirmed, we're going to get a run back between Gunther and Randy. Because Randy's shoulder was not on the mat.
Yeah, the shoulder.
So I called Randy and Cody at SummerSlam because I think that's a SummerSlam ass feud, personally.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
So
let's just scream
SummerSlam. I know we know Gunther time is coming, but as AJ has said multiple times, Triple H ain't gonna give you what you want when you want it. So
not right away.
Bro, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes in Cleveland, Ohio on a Big 5 pay-per-view is as fucking American and as wrestling of a feud as wrestling could possibly be.
If you're gonna do it the day after Money in the Bank, you got to start that build up then.
I think Money in the Bank, you gotta remember Randy and Gunther aren't even on this card. So I think they're gonna start building that seed because Randy, they were selling Randy's injury, right? So he's been selling that. So he hasn't even been on TV since then. So I think they run that refade at that. So
and then you got Bash at Berlin later in the month. So
you got Bash at Berlin later at the month, and then also too, even if you somehow still get Randy that title shot, the big dog, the tribal chief is in the wings waiting.
Yes, he will be back soon.
Waiting.
Yes, he will. Yeah. He will be back soon. But hey, man, that is all, man. That's what we got for this week in wrestling.
Yes, sir.
That is what we got for this week, period. You know what I'm saying? Few announcements. For one, Midcarders and Catering usually used to drop on Mondays. That now has changed. Midcarders and Catering now will be dropping on Fridays for public consumption. Public consumptions will now be getting it on Fridays. So keep your ears tuned on that. And then we will be moving to a bi-weekly schedule when it comes to our public releases going forward. And you will be getting Patreon content in between those weeks. So definitely stay fine-tuned. You're going to be getting Luchador Mount Rushmore. You're going to be getting more Radio MIC because it's coming back, and I got something really, really good for y'all in terms of that.
Good
and the conclusion of Turner Truthers will be coming too at the same token. So that is that, and also in terms of the future of Midcarders and Catering Podcasts, it is now down to 2. It'll be myself, of course, AJ, Shoot the J. Y'all know who I am. And it'll also be none other than DJ Larry.
Oh.
DJ Larry.
Oh.
DJ Larry is now the second member of Midcarders and Catering Podcast going forward. So from now on, you're going to be seeing me with DJ Larry, and we're gonna get this on and popping, man. We're taking it to the next level.
And I'm still on Show Your Work.
Yes, he's still on Show Your Work. He's still on Show Your Work. That hasn't changed. He's still Show Your Work.
This is all communication amongst the union.
Yes.
So
it's nothing changes there. He's still there. Yeah. I'm still gonna be on Show Your Work when I'm needed. I'm gonna be on Guessing from the Stands. Earl already got my mind scrambling now because I have to get prepared for this football shit. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on 3 episodes.
Yes. What'd you do? 3 last offseason? Yeah, it's gonna be about that this year. Yeah.
So I'm good. I gotta do that too. So yes, I'm going. Like
I just got sad all over again because I know how my team is gonna get destroyed this year, and I'm not looking forward to August 31st. So yeah.
I hope we're in attendance.
Yes.
I hope we're in attendance today.
Because your quarterback is not. However, but that is all for this episode. It will be live and direct very soon. We will be back again. And we got something special because episode 70. Episode 70, guys. Thank you for listening to Midcarders and Catering Podcast, a weekly podcast focused on pro wrestling and sports entertainment. Midcarders and Catering Podcast is created and executive produced by Amir Johnson. Music, Miami Boulevard by Offbeat Ninja and Maple by Blair North. Special thanks goes out to Show Your Work Network and Guessing from the Stands podcast. Midcarders and Catering is powered by the Union.